A live look at the world's busiest airport, where holiday travel for the 4th of July is just starting to wind down.
Hartsfield-Jackson is expecting more than 4 million people to pass through Atlanta by the end of the night. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. New at 11, we now know a battery was to blame after a fire forced a Delta Airlines flight to make an emergency landing in Florida.
So that flight took off today from Atlanta, headed to Fort Lauderdale. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn live tonight from the airport with more on what actually triggered the smoke and a warning for people, for everyone who flies with electronics. Cody?
Ron and Jennifer, the FAA says it is investigating this fire that caused a mid-flight scare this afternoon, or I should say this morning. The Boeing 757 had about 200 people on board, and this is a great reminder of what we pack could pose a real risk on a plane. Delta Flight 1334 left Atlanta heading to Fort Lauderdale, but just before noon Monday, the crew declared an emergency. The plane diverted to Fort Myers after passengers reported smoke in the cabin. Delta says a personal device, likely a battery in a backpack, caught fire. Flight attendants quickly put it out and sealed the bag inside a fireproof containment device.
Thankfully, in today's situation, the flight crew knew how to respond, and a major catastrophe was averted.
Jeff Meridian is the president and chief executive officer of UL Standards and Engagement.
We are a safety standards and advocacy organization that's focused on ensuring that passengers, in this case, are aware of all of the safety risks and prevention steps that they can take in order to stay safe.
The FAA says this is one of at least 35 similar battery fires on planes this year. Experts say the real threat comes when these batteries are packed in checked bags.
It's critical to be mindful and aware of what you're packing in a checked bag. In the event that something like this were to happen in checked luggage, the outcome may have been much different.
Lithium-ion batteries are in everything from phones to laptops to vape pens. The advice? Keep them in your carry-on and within arm's reach.
What we're talking about here is called thermal runaway, and it's an incident where a battery begins to heat and in some cases smoke or catch fire uncontrollably. And so while these incidents are rare, they do happen, and certainly nothing could be scarier than this happening mid-flight.
He says the data they collect every year shows about 2 of these incidents happen per week, whether it be inside an airport like here in Atlanta or in flight. And he says in most of these cases, they're all tied back to vape pens. And I can tell you again, fortunately for the folks on this flight, the great work by the Delta flight crew relying on their training really helped make this a safe process and got that flight on the ground safely. Live at Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta, Cody Alcorn, 11 Alive News.